Welcome back to another episode of the Sports Dan Podcast. I'm your host, Hendon Hooker, and who I'm here with today?
Gabe.
It's a big Freeman, man. Let's go.
All right, so what did you learn last week in college football? Don't say nothing about the Bama-Tennessee game. We're going to talk about that's his own segment.
I'm going to let Zamir go first.
So, what I learned from the college football week, besides the Bama, Tennessee, right? Okay. I learned that Anthony Richardson is not a quarterback. He's a running back. I also learned that they play LSU, right? I also learned that LSU does not practice tackling and practice like, oh, my God. Like, that was terrible. It was bad. And what else? I saw Michigan. I think Michigan is very legit. I think that game against Ohio State is going to be very top 5 matchup. And I think the winner going to the playoffs. Michigan looks very good to me. Their running back, what's his name?
Blake Corum.
He to me, he looking like the best running back in college football right now. I know people want to say Bijan Robinson, but as far as like producing and just like getting those yards, like game after game, like he's up there at the top of the list. But other than that, yeah, that's it.
So I learned Illinois got one of the best defenses in college football, and they got one of the best running backs in college football. First running back to reach 1,000 yards, Chase Brown. Ole Miss has the best run game overall in college football, and it's really not even that close because everybody from the quarterback and both their running backs can run for 150, 200 any game. Michigan, they built to be the opposite of Ohio State, and it works very well. And NC State is in trouble without their quarterback, a lot of trouble. And Georgia back on track, of course. You know how them dogs get. And then Kentucky and Mississippi State, they either going to play really good or really bad. Both of them.
Yeah. Well, Kentucky's a different team without their quarterback. And we saw how they played without Chris Rodriguez, and we saw how they played without Will Levis. I feel like them not having Chris Rodriguez in the beginning of the year showed they can still still keep the train rolling. But without Will Levis, they not a good football team, my opinion. And Ole Miss running game, it's ridiculous. Like it's Ole Miss and Michigan is 1A, 1B for me because they have two runners who can go over 150 at any given moment. And then you have Clemson and Florida State. Clemson showed they can be dominant, but they weren't dominant all 4 quarters. So I feel like it's going to take them a while. It's going to still take a little more push from them to get in the playoffs in my eyes. And, yeah. Oh, Utah and USC. I know that Caleb Williams, he got a dog mentality, but I knew USC was going to lose a game, and that just put the Pac-12 out of the playoff in my eyes.
Even if UCLA go undefeated?
Listen, UCLA.
UCLA can go undefeated.
No. When you think about it, would you take a Pac-12 champion UCLA or let's say a 12-1 Bama?
Well, 12-1 Bama going to be.
I don't think Bama's going to be in discussion for 4 if they're 12-1 for number 4.
But I mean, if you're talking like if it's between an undefeated UCLA and like a 11-1 Tennessee or like a one-loss Big 12 champ or
one-loss Clemson.
Yeah, one-loss Clemson. I think UCLA's over one-loss Clemson.
Well, what about a one-loss Georgia?
No.
A one-loss Georgia got to be in.
Okay.
Because that only loss would be the Bama and SC championship, I assume.
There'll be one throughout the whole year, and they won't go from 1 to 5.
It would be similar to last year. So in all likelihood, undefeated UCLA would just take the spot Cincinnati had last year, and Georgia would be 4.
Wait, I have a question though. So say Michigan wins.
Michigan goes undefeated, right?
Michigan goes undefeated. Georgia goes undefeated, and it's a one-loss Tennessee, a Big 12 winner, and then you
Well, it
gonna
depends who
have,
the Big 12 winner is.
and then Clemson, and if Clemson goes undefeated, and then and then you have UCLA.
All the undefeateds make it.
All the undefeateds make it. That's three then. And
Well,
then,
if UCLA undefeated, then
well,
that'd be
would you take undefeated UCLA over a one loss Ohio State?
Yeah.
yeah, probably. Just because that loss would have to, because I'm just assuming Michigan's going to win every game, but the Ohio State game. So that loss would have had to come in a conference championship or to Michigan. So they would either have to not even make the conference championship, or they would have to lose in a conference
Is
championship.
Michigan
And I
same
think,
side of their conference?
Yeah.
I think if
it's like UGA Tennessee.
yeah, so I think if it comes at the end of the year, if Tennessee and Ohio State in that same situation where they got one loss but they didn't play for the conference championship, I'm taking Tennessee over Ohio State only because they would have more impressive wins over Ohio State. So I think if the loser out of Michigan and Ohio State, I think they're done together.
Yeah, I think they're out.
Okay.
And I think and most likely, if Tennessee or Georgia lose to each other and don't make the SEC championship, they're probably out, unless like some crazy stuff happened. Because then that would have to be only way would be if whoever made SEC from the SEC East, they would have to beat Bama. So then it could maybe happen, but I still don't think so.
All right. Everyone have a moment of silence for Bama's loss.
No, they suck. Garbage.
All right, Gabe, you're the odd man out. You chose Bama.
Yeah,
Jameer?
and I choose them again if they play again
You
tomorrow.
lose again.
Hey, and I put money on
This
them
is
too.
horrendous.
So is
Hey, but
Tennessee's,
Tennessee's
man.
offense is better than Alabama's offense.
It's the same team to me almost. We about to talk about that game?
Yeah, all right. We're going to talk about this game right now. Okay, who wants to go first?
I'll do it. I'll pick Bama.
Hey, too.
Look. So this might be one of Saban's most talented teams, but for one, it's by far his worst coaching staff, and it's really not that close. And by two, it's his least disciplined team. And if you ask me, this might be a little bit of a hot take, but I think the dynasty's coming to an end. I genuinely do, because we're talking they don't have the staff and they don't have 18 penalties. 18? Man, no other top 10 team would have gone into Neyland and had 18 penalties last week. None of them. Georgia wouldn't, Ohio State wouldn't, Michigan wouldn't, USC wouldn't. I mean, I don't think any of them would have gone and had 18 penalties. And then you got Jermaine Burton slapping a girl and another dude when he walking off the field. I mean, you got to look at that. I mean, it's a lot of not so good stuff going on in T-Town. But at the end of the day, that game came down to Bama never having a good kicker and Tennessee making probably the worst kicked game-winning kick I've ever seen. I genuinely don't know how that got. I mean, good for the dude, but I don't know how that got through. I thought that thing was way short. I never seen a kick go sideways and go about 40 yards. Like, I don't know. I don't even think there was wind, so I don't know what happened right there. But I mean, when you put a slow safety on Jalen Hyatt, who just earned himself some money last week, it's not going to go good for you at all. I don't want to look forward to the Georgia game, but I got some things to say about how Georgia match up with them. But
after giving up 55, wait, that's what Tennessee had, right?
Tennessee had 52.
You can't give up 52 and then blame your kicker. Yo, don't blame the kicker after giving up 52 points. Don't.
No, it's scheme. That's what I'm saying. He got the worst. I mean, that was on Saban and defensive coordinator. Why would you put a slow safety on the fastest player on the field, right?
Oh, he was getting doubled.
No, but it was safeties. You can't put safeties on him. You put safeties that gonna run a 4.5, 4.6 on a dude who's about to run a 4.3. No, you can't do that.
it was all on Terrion Arnold's side. It was a corner, and
Yeah, he's slow.
they
No,
have
but Terrion Arnold is a safety who's playing corner. That's the problem. Bama don't got any corners, and I think I said this last week. They don't have that lockdown corner type. They don't have that Pat Surtain that they've had. They don't have that kind of guy. So they got a safety playing corner. I mean, that just comes to show that they not developing it anymore. I don't know what's going on, but at the end of the day, I think this might be crazy to say, but Bryce Young needs more respect because what he is doing with that team, putting him on his back when he's definitely not 100%. If he is not the number one pick, as long as the team don't need a quarterback, if he's not the number one pick, that front office is going to regret it.
Okay.
I don't care that he's 5'10".
Okay. Zamir, you want to go?
I'm good. I got some more to say to Justin, but I'm good.
Yeah, I don't know why he ain't show up this week. I think I know why, but
nah, he's not ducking. I don't think he's ducking. I don't, but I only know so much. But what I say is, Hendon Hooker showed why he's a true NFL prospect in my eyes. Jalen Hyatt is probably one of the best deep ball threats after seeing what he did against Alabama. Jahmyr Gibbs, can persuade some teams to use a first round draft pick on him.
he's worth it.
Alabama's wide receivers aren't that good, but it's just the young guys are better than the older guys, and I think Saban's scared to
I say
that.
Bond.
Oh yeah, Bond, Prentice,
Prentice.
they're all better than. I mean, they're better than Burton. They're better than Holden. I would still say Ja'Cory Brooks is one of their better ones.
Yeah, Ja'Cory Brooks is the number one.
But all the young guys, like freshman type, like Bond, Prentice, they're definitely better than Holden and Burton. And Burton might not even play again this year. We're going to see what comes out of that. They're investigating that right now, so we're going to see.
So, it looked like he just... Personally, I don't know. I don't condone, like, hitting females, but it looked to me like he was just trying to push the phone out of the way. I don't know. Maybe I didn't see the...
Well, no, that's a different one.
Dude, that was a dude's video.
Yeah, the video on the field, I really don't have that much of a problem with because he just pushes. If I just lost like that, I probably wouldn't have put a phone in my face too. But the one with the girl, it looks like she's trying to get out of the way, and then once she's out of the way, he reaches back, and I mean he ain't like slap her crazy, but he definitely put his hands to her face. Like I mean, you definitely can't do it, right? And it's all over the place now. But the one on the field with the dude, you can't do. I mean, you gotta be smarter than that, right? It's supposed to be your like professional setting, like you still showing off for NFL teams. But I don't have as much of a problem with that. Yeah. I mean, it seems like he just hit the phone out of dude's hands.
Wait, so where was the one with the female? I thought the female was the one on the field.
No, it's just go on Twitter.
On the field, it was just the guy was first, and that.
If you see a video from like up in the stands looking down to the field, that's the one of the girl.
TikTok video.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, but it's everywhere. Yeah, but then
Saban said they're investigating it right now, so we're gonna see.
Yeah, and then Bryce, I ain't gonna lie, Bryce Young is probably the number one player. I say like I just hate playing against him. Yeah, like every time it's a straight face, and he'll throw for 300, throw for 4 touchdowns, and won't smile until the end of the game.
Yeah, and it'll be what was scariest for me, right? In crunch time of the Natty, he was laughing, right? They down 3 or whatever. I mean, you know, they down like they within a touchdown. He on the sideline laughing, ready to go back in. I mean,
I promise
and in all honesty, with that wide receiver core, if you gave him Ohio State's wide receiver core,
oh my God.
So I don't think there's any argument for Stroud to be one ahead of him. I mean, I think what he's doing with that wide receiver core not being that good is crazy. I mean, he's underrated even. That's how far I'll go to say Heisman winner's underrated.
Who's underrated?
Bryce Young. I think he's underrated.
Stop.
Yes.
Stop.
Yes. No, I think that's how crazy he is. That's how crazy he is.
Gabriel Stutz. Stop.
Look,
A man
That's how
who's
good he is.
on draft mock boards is underrated.
He should be the undoubted number one pick unless that team has a quarterback. If the Texans pick, he should get that pick. The only teams that going to be up there that shouldn't take him, I mean, probably maybe the Jags and the Jets, just because they just spent a pick. I think even if the Bears are there, they should take him at this point. I think that's how good he is.
Like, wow, you just saying that. Okay, so does Hendon Hooker take over as the Heisman favorite after his performance last week?
He should, but he won't. It'll still be Stroud, but he should be. It'll be Stroud just because he started the season higher. But in my opinion, he should be number one in the race.
Yeah, the only reason Stroud won is because of preseason rankings. But like, if you just did it based like if everybody started at the same spot, Hendon Hooker definitely at number one. But Stroud started ahead, so he already got that lead, and he hasn't really done anything to like bump himself down. So yeah.
All right. So, for preview for Georgia and Tennessee, what do you want to see from both teams?
Well, I want to see Tennessee. For one, I don't think this will be as much of a problem with Georgia because they've been there before. But if you go back and look at every year, that team that I'm not going to say shouldn't, but that wasn't expected to be top 5, top 6, top 7, they always have a let-up game in November, right? So last year that was Baylor, right? They came into the top 5. I can't remember exactly who they lost to, but so I don't want Tennessee's heads. I mean, I personally, as a Georgia fan, I don't care, but if I'm Tennessee, I don't want to see their ego and heads get too big and they get caught looking ahead to Georgia and fall into a trap game with Kentucky. Because Kentucky's a good team. I mean, they're a physical team. There is reason to see why Kentucky could win the game. I don't think they will. But if Tennessee's caught looking ahead to Georgia, I think that could be a problem for them. I just want to see, because Florida and Tennessee, for Georgia, Florida and Tennessee got similar ranked defenses. So I want to see Georgia come out and put up some points because I think they'll hold Tennessee to a lot less than Bama did. But with that offense, you got to be able to score. So come out, Stetson, have a good day throwing the ball. Show me something in the run game. You know, don't have turnovers. Just look sharp.
Okay.
And no injuries because Georgia got a bye week to get rested up. And then they just, I mean, you know, you got Jalen Carter out, A.D. Mitchell out, Samuel Mundon out. I mean, you got a lot of guys banged up. Just get healthy, no injuries versus Florida, and come into Tennessee game with momentum.
Zamir?
Okay.
Just a preview, not the whole thing.
So for the Tennessee Georgia game, like game plan or like what you asking?
From both teams, what do you want to see?
Oh, I want to see Tennessee come into Athens and like try to enforce the run game only because Georgia has a very good run game. We know Tennessee's pass game is like very good, but I don't think you can go on the road and be one dimensional and expect to win. Like you got to come in there because they already expecting Hendon Hooker to throw the ball deep, all this stuff. So establish that run game, open up the play action, and it would just like lead to a more balanced attack. Georgia, I expect them to throw like mixed looks at Hendon Hooker. Don't let him sit in the pocket all day because if he has time back there, he's going to beat you. Like you can't give him time. Throw him different looks. And as far as offense, just use Darnell Washington more. I don't know why we don't. But I mean, I didn't watch the Vanderbilt game because Tennessee and Bama. But I did see that Darnell was involved a little bit more. So just keep doing that, and I think we'll be fine.
Okay. All right. So I saw on Twitter. No, I talked to Justin earlier, and he was like, if it's a shootout like it was for Bama and Tennessee, he thinks Hendon Hooker will outlast Stetson.
I disagree because I think it comes to who would get a stop, and I don't see Georgia just allowing all these touchdowns pile on top of touchdowns. Georgia would definitely get a stop. That's the problem with Alabama. They cannot get a stop. Georgia will get a stop against Tennessee. Now with Tennessee defense is terrible. Georgia's offense, we saw what they looked like in the Oregon game. Like Georgia offense is explosive. Like we have the weapons. So like a Tennessee offense, I would say it's better than Georgia offense, but it's not to the point. I think Georgia's defense is better than Tennessee's offense. Than Tennessee's offense better than Georgia's offense.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying.
I get what you're saying.
That's why.
And you see how Georgia looked versus. I know it's Vandy, but Stetson was accurate, right? He hadn't been accurate the past few games. He was accurate. We have run game and pass. It was the first time all season we had both the run game and pass game look good. And Tennessee, they got a straight defensive line, right? Defensive line ain't bad, but that secondary is trash, right? So if you tell me if we can get some push on that defensive line and take out what they're best at on defense, man, get a couple 5-yard runs, then go play action. We should have Arian Smith back. We should have A.D. Mitchell back. Beat them at their own game too, because if we can get a play action and we can hit a deep shot, there's absolutely no reason they should beat us. And I agree with Zamir. I think if it was a shootout like it was last week, I think Georgia would have gotten that key stop. And in all honesty, Georgia has a better kicker than Alabama. So if it did come down to that, right, I think I trust Georgia. If it was that same situation, even if Georgia misses a kick, I don't think they'd let Tennessee get in field goal range. So I think it goes to overtime, and from there it's anybody's game. But if we talk,
I don't think a Kirby-led team is gonna beat themselves by as being penalized as much as Alabama was last week. So I think that's gonna play a big factor.
And I think you could see the sort of penalized game that Alabama had. I think you could see Tennessee have that against Georgia because Georgia is the least penalized team per game in the SEC, and Tennessee is second, only behind Bama. They're averaging like 8.5. Tennessee is. Georgia's averaging 4. So that crowd is going to be loud, right? Insanely loud. It's the same way Neyland was. Now, Georgia does have an open-end stadium, and it holds less people, so it won't be as loud. But once you get, I think they say it's like once you get over like 102, 112 like decibels, it ain't really that much of a difference, right? At that point, it's so loud you can't hear yourself think. So I think Tennessee, they're going to get into a lot of third and longs. And if Georgia's playing to prevent defense on 3rd and 15, I don't think Tennessee's always – I mean, there might be a couple times, but I also think the other big difference, I think Georgia has the players to run with Tennessee. Now, they'll probably have Cedric Tillman back, so that'll be a big deal. But you got Malachi Starks, you got Keely Ringo, Kamari Lassiter, right? You got a bunch of fast guys. So I think just having a little more speed than Bama does will be big too.
I don't know. I just feel as though, like, the shootout, it all depends on who gets to stop first and who can keep getting stops in that sense. But if it was a game like Bama and Tennessee, I don't know. I think Hendon Hooker, I'm going to just say Hendon Hooker's a better quarterback than Stinson. But it's going to be a lot for Stinson. Because, like, when we think about it, when Stinson throws over, like, 40 passes, Georgia has, like, a losing record.
But not this year. We've aired it out a lot more this year, so I don't want to get too caught looking at last year, but yeah.
Yeah. Like, last year – yeah, because last year when he threw over like 40 passes, we lost like almost every game. We lost, and that was both the Bama, and it was just like seeing that. I just want Georgia to come out with the run game. Like I don't care who's the star running back. They just need to get yards. Like fall forward. That's all I want to see. And then for Tennessee, I want to see when they're backs against the wall. I want to see how they handle adversity because. They showed a little glimpse of it when Hendon Hooker they were doing that RPO and they just fumbled the ball and Alabama scored with like 6 minutes left. I thought Tennessee was gonna crumble. I said that's game. But nah, I just think if everything goes to plan, I think Georgia wins. But it'll be a show.
if it came down to which quarterback made a play, yeah, it'd probably be Hendon. But I just
Mhm.
think even if it is a shootout, it won't come to that because if it's a tie game, here's another big difference. I mean, if it's a tie game with 5 minutes left, Georgia's going to be able to hold that ball and run the clock down, whereas Tennessee doesn't have that skill, especially on Georgia's front seven. So I think it just
Yeah,
comes down to Georgia's more capable of playing championship football, and they've been there before. But that offense is crazy. So
I think Josh Heupel is in the same category as Kiffin with offensive play calling.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, so we're going to get the picks of this week. Are you taking Syracuse or Clemson?
Cool. Yeah, Clemson. I think Syracuse is good though, but
Ole Miss or LSU?
Wait,
I'm taking LSU. Or no, I'm taking Ole Miss. I don't think LSU will stop that run game at all.
I'm taking
you saying
LSU.
okay?
It's
I'm
in
taking
Tiger
LSU.
Stadium.
I saw. Yeah,
Toss
Auburn.
up, but
Auburn looked a little bit too good in that first half against Ole Miss. I'm not sold on Ole Miss.
I'm not
Like,
sold on Ole Miss either. But the way LSU
You're right.
tackled,
You're right.
Texas or Oklahoma State?
Uh,
I'm taking
Te-
Texas, and I think they win by double digits too.
uh,
Wow.
I want to pick Oklahoma
My,
State with a bounce back, but nah, I like Texas.
I like Texas too. Okay.
Yeah.
Mississippi State versus Alabama.
Yeah, man, anything ain't gonna be close. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. No, yeah. No, I feel bad for Mississippi State. Bad time to get Bama.
Yeah. Kansas State or
TCU.
TCU?
TCU.
I'm taking Kansas State.
TCU's offense is too good right now. I think they'll slip up eventually, probably. But right now,
I'm,
that offense too good.
I'm taking Kansas State in their running game. And then the college game day, where they're traveling to Eugene, Oregon, UCLA or Oregon.
Oregon. I think Oregon is a great team. I think Oregon's the best team in the Pac-12, and I think they're top 10 in the country
Whoa,
pretty
whoa, whoa.
easily.
You think Oregon's the best team in the Pac-12
After how they've looked since that Georgia game, yes, I do.
over USC?
Over USC.
Over
I
Utah?
think over Utah. I still think USC is better than Utah.
Oh yeah.
But I think I don't know, I just feel like Oregon, I mean, USC's had a couple close games. Oregon had one close game versus Washington State, but they've looked really good since that Georgia game. So I think whoever wins this probably wins the Pac-12 in all honesty, because UCLA's look great.
Oregon's gonna
So
beat UCLA because the Pac-12 doesn't do anything but beat up on each other, and I also agree that Oregon's the best team in the Pac-12. So I'm picking Oregon.
I'm picking UCLA, and DTR is going to outdo Bo Nix.
I do love DTR though.
DTR, like DTR, reminds me of Trayvon Boykin so much. I don't know why.
Yeah, I've been waiting on DT. I've been saying DTR was going to break out for the past like 3 years, and finally he's done it. So glad to
Yeah.
see it.
Okay. So moving on from college football to the NFL. What did you learn last week in the NFL?
I'll let Zamir go first.
Snap. Um, I think Tampa Bay and Green Bay both have problems that they need to fix very fast, and it's got to happen. Like
Thanks.
I've been trying to see like which one I'm more worried about, but honestly, I think it's pretty equal. But I don't know, man. It's rough, and the Falcons look great, man. The Falcons are better. The Falcons are the team. Like Arthur Smith is doing a very great job with his team because, like, if you just look at the roster, the Falcons roster is not good. Like, they're not that good, and they're playing good. Like, they're producing. So, like, the Falcons are up there. As far as the Giants, like, I'm still not sold on the Giants, but they keep winning, and they just I don't know. Like I think their coach, I'm not really sure his name, but I think he's coach of the year so far. And yeah,
The ball.
what else? Uh oh, and as far as like Tua, all the Tua haters, like it's becoming very evident that Tua is actually good, and he was taken for granted because like look at the Dolphins post Tua and pre Tua. So I think once he comes back, which is still a surprise to me that he's coming back so soon, but I think when he comes back, they get back on the roll. But yeah,
I think I agree. The Bucs and the Packers got a lot of problems that they've got to fix, especially because they've both got aging quarterbacks. So I mean, their time is now. I still don't know what the Packers thought was going to happen, just not having a single wide receiver. I still don't understand that decision. I think the Giants, I mean, they got to be close to legit. I mean, I think the Ravens are a good team. They just beat the Ravens. Good
Yeah.
win. I mean, it's just, I think the Eagles and then the Cowboys with Dak are just better. So that's a great division, though. The Falcons really could be 5-1, which is crazy to say because if you would have asked me, I thought they would be 1-5. So, I mean, they just keep, yeah, like Zamir said, I mean, they just keep playing good. There ain't like too much to say about that. I think also one thing about that Dolphins-Vikings game, I just think the Vikings are just good too this year. Like I don't think I mean I definitely think the Dolphins are a lot better with Tua, but I think it also has something to do with the Vikings just being a pretty good team. And Bills Chiefs lived up to the hype. We'll probably see that unless they get on the same side of the bracket. That'll probably be the AFC Championship. So
oh, I got,
I'll be ready for round
I
2.
think Sauce Gardner is already a top cornerback in NFL. Not saying he's the best, obviously that's not what I'm saying, but he's obviously I think he's up there.
Yeah.
He looked
No, I
great,
mean he just
like literally
he just
great.
he's just
Yeah,
continued what he did in college, which is
but
crazy.
Okay, for me, I say I'm not sold on the Giants because I think if you take away their run game, they're not as good of a team. But their defense is really solid to me. I like what they're doing. Their coach is bringing them new energy. The Falcons, Dirty Birds, y'all are actually giving the effort on both sides of the ball, which I'm surprised. But they like from what Arthur Smith is getting out of the Falcons, he should be at least top 5 and coach of the year candidates, in my opinion. And then,
Oh, you got it.
oh, now you go ahead, Gabe. Go ahead, Gabe.
I was just saying, I mean, I'm glad that we're winning,
Mm-hmm.
but Mariota ain't the long-term answer to it. He's looked really good. I'll give it to him. But he's not the long-term answer to a Super Bowl team. So I'm a little bummed we ain't gonna get one of the like top quarterbacks. But you got Lamar Jackson at the end of the first round a couple years ago for the Ravens. So,
Lamar
but
Jackson.
I'd rather us show potential and then have to draft a mid-round quarterback or like a mid-first round quarterback than just suck and have to take a top guy and hope he's good to bring our team back. So,
Yeah. Lamar Jackson a free agent after this season. Yeah, y'all don't have $80 million cap, so
true.
just saying. And then for the Jets, y'all look like a promising young team. Y'all can play for a wild card, but y'all won't win the division though. Bills win that. Chiefs Bills. I said the Bills will take it in regular season and Chiefs will win in postseason. But Josh Allen's show is 1A, 1B with Patrick Mahomes. To me. And the Ravens have to stop blowing leads, and when they're up with like 5 minutes left, like it's getting ridiculous. But all in all, I think the NFL is in a good spot because we know how good these teams are, but we don't see a clear cut. In the NFC and the AFC, we can have all these situations, but at the same time, we still can't write off like the AFC North and their challengers with the Ravens. Ravens being 3-3, the Bengals being 3-3, the Browns being 2-4 without Deshaun, and it's gonna be something. All right, so I saw on TikTok saying Tyreek Hill has a better case of being the number one wide receiver in the NFL, better than Stephon Diggs. Do y'all agree with that? They said Tyreek's impact on the way he can just take a little 3-yard route and turn to a 90-yard touchdown is a big impact onto why he is. And like they said, when defensive coordinators have to plan for Tyreek Hill, it's just you can't game plan for that. You can only hope for the best.
Okay.
And that's why they say he's number one.
I feel like,
I mean,
all right, so Stephon Diggs is going crazy, right? But like he also has like the best quarterback in the NFL. Tyreek, everybody expected Tyreek to take this drop from going from Pat Mahomes to Tua, and he's still looking good. And then even from Pat Mahomes to Tua, now he's going from Tua to Skylar Thompson and Teddy Bridgewater. If I'm not getting this confused, he still had like over 100-something yards last week. So like Tyreek is gonna produce like wherever he goes. Yeah. Like, and imagine if you put Tyreek Hill in with Josh Allen, like I don't know. But as far as like Stephon is probably the more complete wide receiver, but like I think Tyreek Hill on the field has a bigger impact than Stephon did. So it all depends on what you consider to be the best wide receiver. So yeah, that's how.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Stephon Diggs is a better wide receiver. I mean, both of them have produced with all different kinds of quarterbacks. I just think Stephon Diggs got the better technique and, all that. So, I mean, it's close, though. I mean, I think Tyreek is definitely top 5. It is impressive what he's able to do with all these, like, not great quarterbacks. So, I'll give him that.
I mean, well, when I thought about it, I was like, Tyreek Hill is a better, like, I don't know, he's just better at, I'd say, his impact. But if you want the more technical wide receiver, go Stephon. But if you want just a guy who just, once he's open, you throw him the ball and you let him do the rest, then you want Tyreek. So,
well, it's easier. I think they both can get open the same, but it's easier to get Tyreek the ball. You can run a jet sweep. You can give him a little drag route, and he can take it to the house. And I'm not saying like Stephon Diggs can't, but his is more he going to run a comeback route and have 5 yards of separation, but the quarterback still has to make that throw. So when you're playing with like Skylar Thompson, right, a third stringer, it's going to be easier for him to hit a little drag or a little slant in Tyreek, and then Tyreek take it 70 yards than it is for him to go and hit like a 20-yard comeback route to Stephon Diggs. So
who is wide receiver 1 this season?
Yeah, I mean, I ain't going. I mean, Cup.
I can't argue.
Diggs, Taylor.
I think
I don't really care who you put, but I can't argue that.
That's what I think. But I do think that Devontae Adams is gonna jump up there. I don't know, like, yeah.
They've just started so bad.
Ooh, it just all the elite wide receivers are like living up to their expectation like that right now. Like they're all playing good. As far as even Jamar Chase, I think he's starting to catch stride. He kind of started. Yeah, I think he had a good first game. Then he had a couple little mediocre games, and then last game he just went crazy. So like those wide receivers, like those 1 through 7, like they're all like they all can be the best wide receiver on any given Sunday. So
yeah, like if you go look at the receiving yards leaders, you got Tyreek, Stephon, Jefferson, Cooper Kupp. If you look at the reception leaders, you got Cooper Kupp, Tyreek, Diggs, Jefferson. Like you look at touchdowns, if we're talking wide receivers, you got Diggs, Adams, Jamar Chase, right? So it's just the elite guys are playing how they're supposed to. And so I mean, I think it's definitely you can kind of see I don't want to say the shift, but you're definitely seeing like the new age of wide receivers in its
I
prime.
think when Dak Prescott
Mhm.
comes back, CeeDee Lamb's his name's gonna become more relevant. Like CeeDee Lamb he's looking good with whatever that quarterback name is. Cooper Rush, yeah. And with Dak Prescott, an air raid type quarterback, like CeeDee Lamb is definitely gonna be right up there, getting his name in this type of conversation. Not for the best, obviously. I'm not saying he's like the best. Like he still got ways to go, but he yeah, he's one of the ones. Yeah.
One of the better ones.
Okay. If if you were to explain the Bucks' problem, what is their problem?
I just don't think they're. I don't.
Oh,
I
let's
think
drop
it's just
them
bad
first.
chemistry, like, or it's just bad. It's something like I don't know if it's because of all this Brady and Giselle drama, and he taking these days off. But like end of the day, I just feel like Brady. I don't want to put it so heavily on Brady because like come game day, like Brady's gonna like he knows what he's doing, but I think he's so caught up in like, oh, I can just show up game day and I know what I'm doing. But like when you're missing these days, you're missing like time for like you and your O line to be getting on the same page. And I think that's what we're seeing on Sunday when he's yelling at his O line. Like, is I think they'll figure something out, but I think that's the problem right now. I think they just got to get on. Once everybody get on the same page and start clicking, I think they'll be pretty fine.
Yeah, I mean, it's just chemistry. Like, I mean, Brady's stat wise has not been bad.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but the run game has not been good. I think that's a big part of it, right? Like when they won the Super Bowl, right? They played off of a good run, and that's opened up things for Brady and the wide receivers. So I just think them just not having a good run game is a big problem. But I also think, I mean, there's just so much expectations, right? And then they just don't have the chemistry, like Zamir said. I just think living up to the expectations and the combination of all the off-season drama, is Godwin going to leave, Tom Brady and Giselle, all that, and him taking those days off, just just not a good start. Maybe I compare it to like the Raiders. They just aren't. They should be a good team on paper. It's just not happening right now. But I think they can get it together. I mean, they're an experienced team. They have a lot of guys from that Super Bowl. They have a lot of guys still who made the playoffs last year, and they have Tom Brady. So I'm not ever going to doubt a Tom Brady
They
team,
put
but
the red zone.
I mean, they need to fit. I mean, it's starting to get later in the year, so they need to they need to get it figured out soon. But I'm not as worried about them as I am about the Packers.
All right. If give me your top three in MVP in the MVP race for y'all.
I'm trying to think. To
You
be
got it,
honest,
Zrock.
No
I'm trying to
order,
think of
no order, no order, no order.
okay.
no
Hurts,
order.
Hurt, Allen,
Oh, no,
Mahomes.
okay. I'm gonna put
Yeah,
mine in order.
I think
I'm
that's
gonna
mine
go
too.
Allen, Mahomes, Hurts. That's my
Oh,
order. And I think Josh Allen is gonna, as
I'm
the
not
year
going.
goes on, I think he's just gonna pull himself away from everybody else. I think at the end of the year, like it would be pretty clear, like yeah, Josh Mahomes is. I mean, Josh Allen is the MVP of the NFL.
Yeah, I think it's definitely those three. I'd put Jalen Hurts at 3 too, just because for him to win it, they're just gonna have to win like a crazy amount of games this year, which I mean, on pace to do.
Yeah,
But on an individual level, he can't keep up with Allen and Mahomes. So there's just going to come down to having those wins. But so I think Allen and Mahomes are the favorite. I'd probably put Allen one. I mean, he's a great, so is Mahomes, but he just beat Mahomes. So and Mahomes threw a pick at the end of the game. So that'll be taken into account when the voting happens.
yeah. All right. Predictions for this week. Okay. Saints versus Cardinals.
they both suck. I don't know.
I'm gonna take the Cardinals. D Hop back.
Ooh.
We'll just say it happens this week. I don't know, but they both, yeah.
Bro, the Cardinals are
Like, why do
disappointing.
you think
Like,
that's so
literally,
bad,
it
man?
just doesn't make sense. Like, you go and play Seattle, who has a terrible defense, and you struggle to score. They had like 9 points, and I don't even know I don't even know the final score, but they were struggling to score. Like, that was supposed to be the game where Kyler Murray just puts it on. Like, I mean, Hollywood got hurt, but it was at the end of the game, so like, it's just no way. Like, you're not putting points on the board. Like, I don't. It's a problem in Arizona. Like, they have too much talent to be this bad right now, and yeah, that's just why I think that. And the Saints, I mean, Kamara's looking good again, but they're just not it. Like the quarterback wise, and they're just not it. And Olave is hurt, so
I think that whatever happened to the Cardinals after 7 or 8 games last year, it's just
Yeah.
carried over. I mean, I don't. They're too good not to score points, or on paper, they're too good not to score points. I guess getting D Hop back will hurt too, but if you telling me you put like a lot of teams in that same situation, they score points. I mean, everyone's scoring points on Seattle, right? Like,
Yeah. But I say the Cardinals and the Broncos are in the same boat. Like they both have great talent, but they're just not succeeding in a way they should be. So I'll say that. Falcons versus Bengals.
like
Yeah.
taking them
Wait, I got
dirty
wait.
birds.
Nah. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna take the Falcons.
I'm gonna take the dirty birds.
Wait. I got two ways to play that. Oh, never mind. The Bengals.
Hey, I'm
The
gonna just take
Bengals.
the Falcons.
All right. Lions or Cowboys?
Yeah, the Cowboys. Ain't Dak back this week too?
I think, yeah.
So, yeah, with or without Dak, but with Dak being back this week.
Titans.
Okay. Colts versus Titans.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Titans too. Should be a decent game though.
Give me the Colts. Packers versus Commanders.
The Packers gonna bounce back. I think the Commanders just suck. I think the Packers suck, but they don't suck like the Commanders, which it feels weird. They don't suck like Washington. It feels weird calling them the Commanders, but God, it's just sucky teams playing each other this week.
Yeah. Bucs versus Panthers.
Yeah, Bucs. That Panthers team, that's probably the worst team in the NFL.
Nah, they're not. They're not worse than the Bears.
You're right. They ain't worse than the Bears, but both them teams. That's the Panthers are in free fall though. At least you can have hope as a Bears fan. Panthers about to trade everybody going to a full rebuild.
Giants versus Jaguars.
Taking the Giants, they're just gonna keep winning.
Browns versus Ravens.
I'm gonna take the Ravens. Hopefully they don't get up by like a touchdown at the end of the game though. Won't be go for
them. I'll take Lamar.
Who?
Jets versus Broncos.
Oh, Broncos.
Jets versus Broncos.
I'm taking the Jets. That Broncos offense is sorry. Like I don't understand. We'll talk later.
We'll talk later.
I don't see how you can have Russell Wilson pay him all this money and your offense is that bad.
Like you can't. It can't
stop,
put up 20.
Also, hey, another thing. Stop putting them on primetime, please.
Please.
Like, nobody want to see that. Nobody wants to see that.
I'm tired.
Especially you put in the Broncos game, and we got to go on Amazon Prime to watch it. Come on, man. And then it's not even worth it to go watch the Thursday night games with the Broncos playing.
I
Genuinely.
genuinely think
I promise you that.
for the first like if you just
Can't even hear you.
got like 9 cards. Like I definitely more than just
Yeah, Zero. You just went in and out, and I didn't know what you said, but I'm just gonna say you advocated for Russell Wilson.
I don't know what he's
Okay.
doing.
I don't know. I think he was just advocating for Russell Wilson.
He's doing something.
Okay, Texans versus Raiders.
Raiders.
Chargers.
Raiders. Seahawks versus Chargers.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Chargers. They
I'm
should
taking
not
the
score
Seahawks.
16. They should not score 16 again. So
Yeah,
they're gonna put up about 45.
crazy. I'm taking Seahawks.
Better bounce back. That's all I know.
Chiefs versus 49ers.
Chiefs.
Yeah, Patty Mahomes going to throw for smooth 300.
Yeah, hard to come back from a loss to the Dirty Birds.
Steelers versus Dolphins.
I'm taking the Dolphins.
Bro, I ain't gonna lie. I'm not watching Monday night, bro. It's bad.
Oh.
It's Bears versus Patriots.
Why? Wait, no, what? No, seriously though, we need to talk about this. Why do they keep giving us bad primetime games?
Bro, I promise you, when I looked at this, I had to stop. I was like, bro, I'm not watching this. Like, I'm not finna sit here and watch Matt Jones hand it off 30 times and him throw for 20, and I'm not finna sit
And then
here.
Justin Fields throw for 55.
And then Justin Fields wide receivers not getting no separation.
Nah,
I'm not finna watch.
No, they keep putting the worst games on primetime, man.
It's bad. Like the only good prime time I say I watched so far this year was Chiefs Raiders.
Yeah, that was a good one. But man, the Broncos have been on it 8 times, and they suck. It's boring to watch. I don't want to see a 8 to 10 game on primetime. Give me a nice little 28, 24, right? Give me some offense, right? I don't expect everybody to put up 40, but golly.
It's bad. I ain't gonna lie. Their offenses, I don't know. All the teams we thought were good, it's not good.
On Thursdays, I got to go on Prime Video to watch it.
No, bro.
I just keep track from the fantasy app.
Bro, I promise you, I'd rather watch it. I'd rather watch something else than watch that.
And NBA back on now?
Yeah. NBA took my time. I'm telling you that right now. Okay, so it's the midway point through the NFL. How many true contenders are there in the NFL? What's the number?
I'd have to look at a list of teams real quick because I know I'm gonna forget somebody.
I'm finna say the teams. You just say yes or no.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Bills.
No.
Yes.
Jets.
No.
Miami.
No.
I'm gonna say no. They definitely they could mess up someone's playoffs.
Yeah.
But not championship contender.
New England.
No.
Definitely not.
Ravens.
I'm gonna say yes.
Bengals.
Yes. I mean, they made it last year. I think they can make it back. They can catch fire in the lightning in the bottle again.
Stop. No. Browns.
Well, if Deshaun comes back and looks great, but right now, no.
Steelers.
No. Henry.
No.
When you
No.
got
Titans.
Henry, you always got a chance.
No.
If Ryan Tannehill is your quarterback, you will not make it past the AFC Championship. I will say that.
I ain't about to cut
Okay,
out
what's
advocating
I
for
don't.
Tannehill.
My God, no. Kansas City
Yes.
Yeah.
Chargers.
Yeah, I'll give it to him, yeah.
50-50. Broncos.
No. Not with that offense. No. Don't even say the Broncos. Don't even say the Broncos. I don't want to hear nothing about Russell Wilson.
No,
either.
stop trying to make the case. Stop trying to make That's bad. That is bad. That's bad.
I think, bro, y'all gotta realize, like, it's only been, 5 weeks in the NFL, bro?
He just said the midway point.
Yeah, we at
right now, like, no,
7.
like, they're not. But they have plenty of time to figure it out. I think they have the talent. If they figure it out, I think they can be.
But so how's that any different than the Browns? You said no on the Browns. They're about to get Deshaun Watson back.
Talent as the Broncos. The Broncos defense. You gotta think.
They have their quarterback. He don't look good. At least the Browns have a quarterback to look forward to coming back.
Very, very great. Very great.
It don't happen when your offense can't score over 20.
If that offense clicking with that great defense, I'm telling you, they got a chance. They got a chance.
I don't think so. There ain't no way that offense is going to beat the Chiefs or the Bills at all. It's basically going to be a bye week.
Chill. Eagles.
Yes. Don't say no.
Don't do that. Don't
do it. Don't do it.
Yeah, I mean,
the NFC looks this year.
I'm gonna say yeah, but I still look. I think our preseason podcast, I said the Eagles are going to win that division. I think the Eagles are very good, but I think they're Super Bowl contenders. But like, when they come playoff time, I just don't see them. Like, even the Bucs, I just don't see them getting past the Bucs. But contenders, yeah. But I'm not sold on them as much as y'all probably are.
Here's my thing. You can't have a dude that we're saying is top 3 MVP and they am not, and them also have a really good defense and them not be a contender. And I'm gonna go to far as say 2 really good wide receivers too. I think Devontae Smith and AJ Brown are both really good wide receivers. So, and Miles Sanders ain't bad. So you tell me they got a decent running back. They got 2 good wide receivers. They got a quarterback that's top 3 in MVP, and they've got a good defense and a great defensive line, and their corners are underrated. I just don't see any way they're not a contender. I ain't saying they're going to win it. I ain't even saying they're going to win the NFC. I'm not even going to say they win the NFC, but they're definitely a contender.
No.
Okay, the Giants. Thank you, Zamir. Thank you. I'm tired of all these Giants fans saying, we're good. They are not that good.
I don't think they're a championship contender. But I think they can make the playoffs and win a game.
They can make the playoffs. They won't win a game.
I think they can win a game.
You forgot who their quarterback is.
I don't think he's trash. I mean, I don't think he's good, but if they get in the right situation, they could win a game in the playoffs.
Yes.
Dallas.
Yes. They've looked great with Cooper Rush, who, let's be honest, he's a smart football player. He ain't gonna lose you a game, but he's not a good quarterback. He's not. And anyone and anybody who ever thought about him starting over Dak when Dak came back, man, come on. Just don't ever say nothing about the NFL again if you thought he should start over Dak when he came back.
Okay.
Because that offense, like rankings-wise, like yardage and yards per play and everything, the offense was bad, like the Broncos. The difference is they were just getting it done 1 to 2 times more per game. But when Dak comes back, they're going to be deadly.
Yeah, nobody else.
No.
Minnesota.
They're not a
Mm,
not a championship contender.
Exactly. They're
You
not.
gotta be picky with the championship.
No.
Green Bay, no.
No,
Chicago, no. Detroit,
Yes.
no.
no.
Tampa Bay,
They got Tom Brady on until
yeah.
they're actually out. Until they are literally mathematically eliminated, I will never say no versus Tom Brady because I watched 28-3 with my own eyes. So I'll never say no to Tom Brady.
The Falcons.
No,
New Orleans.
no,
Carolina.
Yes.
no.
San Francisco.
Yeah.
They got to fix some
They're,
things.
they're, they're,
But
50-50.
they're so
I'm
banged up
50-50
right
on
50
that.
now.
50.
Like
50
they had
50.
nobody on defense that last game. Like the Niners.
True.
Rams.
Yeah, they won it
No.
last year. I'm not gonna count them out yet.
Their O-line is so terrible.
It is. Yeah, no, it is. But the Bengals O-line was terrible last year. I don't think they will, but I'm not
Playoff,
gonna count them out yet.
championship potential. No.
I mean, I don't think
All in
so, but
all,
I'm not gonna
all,
say no definitively yet.
I'm gonna say whoever adds Odell Beckham Jr. will get a complimentary wide receiver 2 who has the talent of a wide receiver 1.
They'll
And they'll
definitely
be
get a
pushed to a
boost.
contender, in my eyes.
Why I don't know if you don't want to go there, but I
They
don't know
are.
why the Packers
But he's
wouldn't
not.
look at signing him. They
Nah.
have nobody.
Nah.
I still don't understand how they have nobody. How do you get rid of Devontae Adams and get nobody? Their wide receiver 1 is Alan Lazard. It makes me mad. And I don't even like Rodgers, but it makes me mad for him.
That's I don't know. I think it was a little rumor going around that he's going to the
It's
Bills.
not really with Von Miller.
Now that would be dirty because if you got Stephon, Gabe Davis, and Odell as your wide receiver
That's
1,
the
2,
thing.
and 3.
Yeah, ain't nobody going that.
I mean, I think they probably already favorites, but at that point, they definitely favorites.
Okay. But that's the face. All right. Any last words?
Yeah, Daw's gonna get healthy this bye weekend. They gonna score 40 on Florida. Florida ain't gonna score nothing. Anthony Richardson might throw 3 picks. Then they're gonna go play Tennessee. And we'll talk about that more in a couple weeks. But then they're gonna beat Tennessee by double digits.
Gabriel say that. Gabriel said that. I like that.
Yeah,
Zamir?
double digits, and it ain't never gonna be in doubt. And that is going. And Tennessee might have 10 penalties that game.
Yeah, I don't lie. I see a lot of passes.
I'm talking,
a month away, man.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say,
but
hey, just go Dogs. Like, you feel me? Oh, in Tennessee, look, I just got something to say for Tennessee. Please do not lose to Kentucky. I'm finna pay too much money for this game to y'all to slip up and lose a game y'all should not lose. Please stay undefeated until you come into Athens and get thrashed. Thank you. That's all I have.
it's a classic trap game. I'll say that. That's a classic trap game.
Yeah.
Two other things, right? I'm excited to see. This is crazy to say, but I'm excited to see Georgia basketball this year. I think we're on the right track. Definitely on the right track by far. And I think talking surprise people. I'm not saying surprise people is be one of the better teams, but I think we could jump the Mississippi schools. I think we could be like 4th or 5th worst in the conference. Be over like what? Missouri, South Carolina, the Mississippi schools. So I think they're going to have a nice little team this year. I think they're going to do really good out of conference too. And go Hawks. DeJounte Murray and Trae Young going to take the Hawks to the championship. Oh, shit. You hit it. Here first. Got Hawks over the Warriors. And then Steph Curry officially going to pass the torch to Trae Young. No, I'm playing, but
That
I'm
sounded
excited.
so much like Jackson. So bad.
No, I'm really playing on that. But they're gonna be fun to watch this year. I'm excited for them, and I'm
Go
excited
Hawks, baby.
for hoop
Go
season.
Hawks. Go Hawks. No,
Yes,
Hooker
sir.
and Justin
Yes, sir.
hate to hear it, but go Hawks.
Look,
Okay, check me out. Go Hawks.
got it on right now. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh, and
Okay.
Hey, and the
Russ
grit,
still
and the
The Lakers have no shooters. It's not Russ's fault. LeBron shot 7 for 19. Anthony Davis shot 7 for 18. Russ shot 7 for 15. But all they want to show is the air ball. That's all they want to play. Like when they come to Russ, I knew the minute he airballed, that was all they was going
I
to show
do want
on
to say,
social media. It was all.
and hey, I would look. I don't back up Russ much, but he did get him 2
I
extra
know it's
possessions
talking about
on
that.
that play with the air ball because he tipped it out and tipped it out again, and then when nobody else making a shot, he took it to his own hands, which wasn't the right decision, but. Hey, look! I tell you, Trae Young won an air ball.
Like what? I don't think anybody would
DeJounte Murray won an air ball.
Like
John Collins won an air ball. Clint Capella won an air ball.
Oh, did you see that? Did you see that alley oop dunk that Russ had? None of them ain't doing that. They ain't. He's not
DeJounte Murray
like
is.
Russ. He is not. He is not. No, he's not. No,
DeJounte, hey.
Okay.
Look, Trey. Wait, one last thing. Trey, best point guard in the East. DeJounte Murray, top 5 point guard in the East.
Okay. All right. That's it. All right. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. That's a wrap on this episode. We'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.